Hello, folks. I greet you. It's a Friday evening, rather wet in Lagos. Welcome, all the same, to Journalist Hangout. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Today on the program, federal government initiates 1,068 kilometers Sokoto-Badagry Superhighway, the construction, that is. Now, troops arrest ESN founder, that's the Eastern Security Network founder, IPOB terrorist, and commanders, in the southeast. And later on, we'll share this with you. Pensioners threaten protest over 193 billion naira federal government debt, pension debt, and 4 states. But let me say I'm hanging out with Charles Ideho. Charles, I greet you. Good afternoon, or good evening, welcome.
Good afternoon, my time.
All right. And a gentleman who is more or less our man Friday is Kayode Ladende. Kayode, I greet you.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, okay.
Jones, good evening. Good evening,
all right.
Nigerians.
Just to announce, team leader BKO is out of town. So the team is ready. Let's go. Okay then, let's go. Like the Calabar-Lagos Highway project, the federal government has launched the dualization of the 1,068 kilometers Sokoto-Badagri Road in Kebbi State, the expressway which passes through 7 states of Kebbi, Niger, Kwara, Oyo, Ogun, and Lagos, plus that Sokoto itself, has been awarded to High-Tech Construction Company Limited. President Bola Tinubu, who was represented at the contract signing by Governor Ahmed Aliyu of Sokoto State, described the project as very dear to his heart. The governor commended the Minister of Works, David Umahi, for bringing the project to reality. More than Mr. President, Nigerians are appreciative of the ministers who truly deliver on their mandates. Let's share the moment with you for a brief while. Let's go there, please.
Today to flag off the construction of a section in Kebbi State of the 1,068 kilometer of the Sokoto-Badagri. And let me lay the foundation that this project was dreamt of by the Shagari administration, the former president, civilian president. And that was 48 years ago. 48 years ago. And no president after him, nor even during the time of the dream, but the person that dreamt it, we must recognize the person. But no action was taken until Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came on board. We are going to improve on a lot of agriculture within the corridor. This project is 6 lane of 2 carriageway, and there is a train track, which means that we are having train running from Sokoto down to Badagry.
Charles, we can say it's been a long time coming.
Yes, but first, let's quickly make a correction. Buhari's government, what's his name? Shagari wasn't 48 years ago. That was 44, actually, 1980.
Charles, if that is the... I hope that's not a problem here.
No, it's not
over 40 years ago.
Okay, but I think it's better to say over 40 years ago. Not to be very specific about the years, because that's very important as journalists. Yeah. But having said, I think it's been a long time, for something years, almost 50. Anybody who say 50 years today, most of them are grandfathers. So a project that was initiated as long time ago as start, one would expect that by now we should be talking about rehabilitation of some of the portions that are failed. But the road has not kicked up. I remember there was, when I was editor of a magazine, there was a project we wanted to run around...
Who are we? The magazine?
No, us, yes, the magazine.
Okay.
We wanted to run. We were going to acquire 100 acres of land around that Yewa Wode axis. So we went to do assessment to know if it's under acquisition. So we were told that portion of the road, of that land, passes through a road. There's this Sokoto-Badagry Road.
Expressway.
So I was saying, so I mentioned, Sokoto-Badagry. So this thing has been there for a long time. So, and you do know that government is a continuum. If a government that initiated it couldn't actually put it in place, couldn't start it off, we expected that successive government would have done it. Can you imagine? Shagari's government came, is gone. The military came, Babangida, Abacha, who was that? Just count them till today. Then suddenly we have somebody who has come in today that say, okay, let's pick it off, pick the files up. But I am hoping that it's not going to be a project that will be started and then be suspended. Because for now, somebody asked me the other day, say, Charles, you are a journalist. What about the Lagos-Calabar Expressway that generated a lot of furore, where projects were demolished, those projects along the beach and all that. What's the level? I said, well, it's ongoing.
Yeah, ongoing.
Ongoing. Yeah. So we hope that the ongoing will lead to completion. Completion will lead to issue. Because I understand that it's about 6 lane, right? 6 lane with most of the things. You have street lights that are going to be
dual
carriageway, 6 lanes. You have solar power lights. Security, CCTV. So it's going to be a beauty to behold if we get to that El Dorado where I want to drive on that road, even if I may not get to Sokoto, but at least I think it's about it traverses about 7 states.
Yeah, including Sokoto itself.
Including Sokoto itself. West, at least I think it's Ilela local government that they said that they just did the groundbreaking. So we hope that as they're going to start from Ilela area, it will eventually get to us back here in the southwest. Then it will not be a thing that all of us can be proud of.
Kaede, it is said there's quite nothing like an old idea whose time has come.
Yes. That's
true.
So you're looking at Calabar, Lagos, Sokoto-Badagri, which is also Lagos, cross-country. You see what I mean?
The interesting part for me is, there was, the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, recently was quoted as, trying to chide the current president that he doesn't have a plan. And so this is one of the ways to respond to that kind of criticism. This was a man that 25 years ago when he was the governor, he mentioned this particular project. And this was someone...
president, you mean?
The president who was a governor then. 25 years ago, Governor Bola Tinubu also talked about this, that let's revisit what had been mentioned by the former president Shagari. So this is to let you know that this is someone who has a plan that if I couldn't achieve this, if I couldn't initiate what a president started, one day I'll become a president and I will kickstart this. And to now look at it that it's a legacy project, it's something that a good number of us who have the opportunity or the grace to travel out of the country, these are some of the things we keep lamenting that are these people different from us? Are they from another planet? Now we're seeing a similitude of something that could look like, those powerful, lovely places that we see. And so for me, I understand. I can imagine that if I'm part of those people who are affected, whose houses are going to be affected, whose structure are going to be affected, and probably you didn't do your paperwork very well and you had to struggle to get compensation. I totally agree with them that it can be painful. But then the bigger picture is, what do we benefit as a country? What is the overall dream of this? So for me, it's a lovely idea from the president. It's a lovely idea that we should see this through. However, my worry is government is a continuum. We should see it that way. And I was so excited when I listened to the Minister of Work saying that there's not going to be new project that I'm going to mention in the new 2025 budget. It's going to be what has been started, what has been initiated when we came in 2023. So by and large, it is for us to see that they are focused. They are not just mouthing it. They are not just saying it. They put different phases that by 2027 they will complete the first phase, which for me is a good sign that whatever happens in 2027, Nigerians will decide that this is about our benefit, not about someone. I know we're not doing well when it comes to project. We want to always attach it to people. But in America, you hardly hear it was this president that did this, was this president. It is a normal thing to embark on projects.
And Charles, just before I forget it, in the former President Muhammadu Buhari days, there was this talk about that railway line that should run from Calabar through to Lagos.
Yes.
Traversing 11
states. Between 9 and 11, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know why it met with a lot of roadblocks.
Yes.
If you remember.
I do remember. But you see, we Kayode and I, we both agreed on the issue of government being a continuum. But you just have this idea. I like what you said about projects being attached to names. That's exactly why it's always like, when it starts, they say, oh, so person started, I don't want that the legacy will be tied to him. So let me do something that will be tied to me. So once they come in, you say, who started Jagari? I don't want any Jagari. Let me start something of my own. But knowing that the ultimate beneficiaries are us. You mentioned this issue about what are the benefits. How did you know what it would do for the internal economies? If you, for instance, the Benin-Lagos road is a very busy road. Do you know Ore? Last time we drove to Benin, when I got to Ore, I shared more than one tear, because I shared a tear or two. Because all these places were
public.
Yes, no, not the public, in the car. Because all those restaurants where you could stop, buy things, buy banana, I saw one of them. The grasses have taken over.
Wow.
Because of the 2020.
This is news for me.
No, I'm telling you, you just go.
I went to Uniben, so I'm used to stopping.
I'm talking about Ore. Ore has become a ghost of its own glory.
Wow.
This own glory. Yeah. Because most of these shops, because you know, can you imagine the economy of Ore? When people will be traveling from there, they had to stop over. You buy things, and then the things are domiciled there. People could go to the farm, bring farm produce, and sell to you. Yeah. But today, that's fresh.
Farm fresh, yeah.
So if you're talking about the benefit, imagine when you kick off from Badagry, 7 states. You know what it's going to do to the economy of those 7 states. So it's a win-win situation, just like they do in their own America. They have this Highway 1, Highway 2, Highway 3.
Yeah.
Exactly what it should be when, of course, it does get completed.
In Germany, they talk about autobahns.
The autobahns, exactly, yes, you know.
All right, folks, yes. we are done about that. But let the debate continue. Do we need that road at this point in time? Let the debate continue. Ours is to mold opinion.
Yes.
Now to our next story. You know, prudence is a very important component of good governance because it makes for shrewdness of thought and identification of priority areas for the good and well-being of the people.